Well, under it's
Welcome to our Saturday call. I'm so excited for today. Let me make sure that I've muted the lines. Hang on 1 second, and we are going.
You are now muted
today. We've got people calling in not only from all over the U.S. and Canada, but international as well. So welcome. And I hope you like that little introduction. Say Yes to Success. It's one of my favorite songs, and I'm going to start playing that at the beginning of each of our sessions. So welcome to our Saturday call today. And for those that are brand new and may not know who we are, my name is Sandi Cohen, and Eddie and I are probably married more years than most of you are old. We are 500K, Sweet 16, and members of the multi-million-dollar club. And the only way we get to success is if we help other people duplicate. And that's really the purpose of Zango University, to be able to empower you with both your growth personally as well as professionally. And thinking about the training today, I think even to this day, when you meet someone and you open your mouth, what are you saying? What are you saying that is powerful and helps you to talk like a professional? So would you agree that if you say and do what successful people do, you will also have massive success? So our topic today is what to say as the pros say. Now, first in all of this is, what do you really want? This is so critical because you should have a pen and paper handy, and you should ask yourself these questions. And as soon as you're done this call today, please answer them. The first question is, what do you want? And why do you want it? This is critical, because if you don't know why you want it, you probably will not get it. And it must be written down. What are the consequences if you don't succeed? And of course, what are you willing to sacrifice to get the job done? Because there's one thing we all have in common, 24 hours in a day. We're all time starved. So are you going to get up an hour earlier? Are you going to go to bed an hour later? Are you going to have lunch with someone who's a potential customer or a business partner? So what are you willing to sacrifice to get the job done? And what's most important is, what is your why? And there's a saying, your why should make you cry. Have you heard that before? It should be so strong that nothing or no one will shatter your belief and your commitment that you're going to accomplish what you've set out to accomplish. Now, this is a little barometer here. And when I say you need to be committed not only to never-ending improvement, but you need to do this not sometimes, but you must always be prepared to make something happen, because you can do this part-time. You can eventually move into full-time. but you must always, always, always be committed. And do you have a chink in your armor? Is there anything that would stop you? Is it a negative spouse? Is it your job? Whatever that possibility is,
Andy here.
Do not let yourself have a chink in your armor. Now, I often jokingly say it only took me a decade to become an overnight success, but I never gave up because I knew that Zango was our way back. I mean, imagine being 52 years old and $450,000 in debt from a legal battle that we had for 8 years, and even though we won in court, the only winners were the attorneys. So our mission, one by one, no one will be left behind. And there is breaking news. I mean, huge breaking news. After 12 years in business, Zango has made some dramatic enhancements to the compensation plan. So I don't know why we're not muted here. Let me see. It says we are muted, all right? So if you are somehow speaking, please put yourself on mute because I did hit the call controls as well. So breaking news is going to happen at Rush Convention. You need to be there. Events are not negotiable. It's the first time in the 12-and-a-half-year history of Zango that they're going to be launching, and I have to be careful because I'm under a non-disclosure, but the products they will be launching worldwide. We've never done this before. We usually, launch products in the United States and Canada, and then they trickle around the world. So you need to be at Rush because not only are they giving away a brand new silver Mercedes, and if you don't like silver, maybe they'll switch it for another color, but there's going to be special training. Robert Kiyosaki is going to be there, and special pricing if you're in attendance. And, of course, on Sunday, the event after the event, we'll have dozens of leaders teaching exactly what they do. And, it's interesting that Ryan Anderson, now that he's back, his goal, which I love, is to create 1 million new thousandaires. Not like in other companies where there's just a few people at the top making money. We're talking about a few thousandaires. I mean, I don't think I know of any other company who is committed, absolutely committed to the middle class, not just a few people at the top, but massive numbers of success. Do you want your team to have the most thousandaires on it? So you must be at Rush, and you must commit to constant and never-ending improvement. And I don't know who who originally created this acronym, constant and never-ending improvement. But I know it's one of Tony Robbins' most famous statements. Every day, strive for constant and never-ending improvement, because if you're not growing, you are dying. And when you have constant and never-ending improvement, I think I read a quote somewhere where people that are very financially successful typically will read a book at least one a month. So when you have constant, never-ending improvement, it means you're always learning. One tiny little thing that you do every single day. And at the beginning, you're starting to feel good. And the more you move forward, you actually feel better. And then when big things start to happen, because when you have the right mindset, you are invincible. And most of you probably think, how did the 500Ks become part of the $1 Million Club? How did the premiers become a premier? And I'll tell you a funny story. We were at convention, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because events are not negotiable and you have to always be there. And they gave us ribbons on our badges. and the top ribbon was green, and it said MDC. And I sat down next to my dear friend and one of our largest leaders, Carol Escalano, and I said to Carol, I said, MDC, in my mind, was minimum daily contact, because I was taught that 20 years ago. What's your number every single day that you're committed to speak to? And I said to Carol, how in the world does Zango know how many people a day I speak to? Do they have my phones tapped? I don't understand. And she starts laughing. I mean, really, really laughing out loud. And she said, and you'll forgive me, but I'm going to repeat exactly what she said. She said, idiot. She said, MDC stands for $1 Million Club, not minimum daily contact. So since then, I've always said, if you want to be part of the $1 Million Club, then you must do your MDC. So take a piece of paper with your pen and put a square there, a great big square. Today is Saturday. In that box, I want you to put how many new conversations you had yesterday on Friday. What was your number? What was your number on Thursday? What was your number on Wednesday? And if you do not have a minimum of 2 or 3 brand new people that you've had conversations with, especially if you're doing the power of 3, Eli got a new customer. That's the whole point. How many new people do you have that you've spoken to every single day? What's your number? And are you putting them into My Zango Builder? My Zango Builder has a database management system, which is, if you're familiar with the system called Act by Symantec, I've been using that for about 15 years, which costs hundreds of dollars. I spent probably over $1,000 to learn how to use it. Well, nothing could be easier than using the database manager in My Zango Builder, which is a perfect complement to the university. So every conversation you have with someone, you should be putting in the notes in My Zango Builder. In fact, I had a conversation with somebody a couple days ago that I met at an event, and he reached out to me. And I said to him, Ben, do you realize the last time we had a conversation? And he said, no. Last year? I said, no. And I gave him the exact date and time from 2.5 years ago, and he couldn't believe it was that long ago. He said, well, how did you know that? I said, because I've been using a database manager for 15 years. So I have conversations, date, time, and what we talked about. This is critical for your personal and professional growth. So here's the question. What does it take to be successful? I mean, let's talk reality here. And the secret to success, it's simple. It's those who talk the most to other people. So where do you find people? I often jokingly say, walk out the door, go somewhere, go to the supermarket, go to the gym, go to the mall. The big question is, are you willing to commit to your journey? Now, it's really important what you say to someone, because you don't want to come off like you're trying to sell them something, because they will push you away. You don't want to try to convince them to join you, because you want people to join you because they're looking either for shortcuts to better health or shortcuts to better money or both. And so today's call is really about what are you going to say. And I remember when I was such a failure, probably for the first 3-4 years, and I was so hungry to learn. And I used to walk around with 3x5 cards, practicing what I was going to say, and I kept tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. So, a lot of people compare our business to sports, because a lot of guys can relate to that. But, I remember I used to play a lot of tennis, and I was visiting my parents in Florida, and I walked up to a woman who was wearing the most stunning tennis outfit. And I approached her and I said, I'm looking for a game. Would you like to play? And she started laughing. And she said to me, oh, that's so sweet, but I'm a tennis wearer. I am not a tennis player. She just loved the clothes. So if you look at a baseball player or a basketball player or a football player or a soccer player, do they practice and practice and practice on the field and get dirty, or do they just sit on the bench? So the point is, in order for you to get good, you've got to get off the bench, you've got to get dirty, you got to trip over your tongue, you got to make some mistakes and say, oh my gosh, I used to say this all the time. I sounded so stupid. Of course, they didn't know I sounded stupid, but I knew I sounded stupid. So the point is, the more you practice, like with anything else, the better you get. And one of the first books we tell you to read in Zango University, and this book I think has been around for over 75 years, by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's interesting that, when you read a book, there's certain things that you remember. When you reread the book a second or a third time, there will be other things that will impact you. So when was the last time you read this book? And it's in the university, and it's free download, and you can read it on your smart device. But it's amazing, when I reread this book a couple months ago, how much change I needed to do in what I was saying to people. And the most important thing is to remember, we are not trying to convince people of anything. We are searching for people, and I love this phrase, and you should start using it because it works. We are looking for people who are open, not interested. Take interested out of your vocabulary. You're looking for people who are open to shortcuts for better health, or shortcuts to better finances, or both. And our high impact sampling program works, guys. It absolutely works. I think the statistics from the National Sampling Association is that 93% of people would be more likely to purchase something if they sampled it first. But with us, it's really important to use the right dialogue with the people that you're approaching. And a lot of the training you can also find at www.zalo, and hopefully you know how to spell Zalo, X-A-L-O, 3D.com, Zalo3D.com. Now, I want you to imagine this. And the funny thing is, sometimes we forget what we used to do. And this was an image I used 12 years ago. And I used, in case you don't know what it is, or you can guess what it is, it's a bucket of 100 oysters. Now think about that. A bucket of 100 oysters. Now, if you knew in that bucket there was one priceless pearl that could be worth maybe $1 million, maybe a few $100,000, how many oysters would you shuck to find that pearl? Would you stop at 3? Would you stop at 10? Would you stop at 50? The point is, every time you start a conversation with someone, imagine they're an oyster. Are they your pearl? Are they going to be your next business partner who's committed to the journey? So try to remember that image of the bucket of oysters. Now I'm going to get into exactly what I say. And, people all the time tell me, Sandi, please, tell me what you say. So I actually wrote this up, and this script will be in the library in Zango University. But for those of you that are not online and cannot see the screen, I'll dialogue it for you. So let me run through it. Hey, John, I'm so excited about products I found that are helping me feel like I'm having the best day yet, but every day. would you be open to trying them and feel like you did 10 or 15 years ago? Now, if they're young and you can look at them and see if they're buff, especially the younger generation, they are so into fitness. It's amazing. And even if they're not, even if they're someone like my age, you can say, do you work out? Do you walk? Are you active? Do you play golf? Would you love to be able to work out longer, harder, and recover faster? I know Ed has become an avid golfer, and he takes a Zalo, what I call a Zalo Pro cocktail, which is the Limitless, Ignite, and Reload at the beginning of his first 9. And then he takes another cocktail on the second 9. And for me, I can tell you this, that people come to the gym that are half my age, and they come and go, and I'm still working out, but I could not do it without that Pro cocktail. So you ask them, would you love to be able to work out longer, harder, and recover faster? But my name is not Mrs. Proctor or Mrs. Gamble. You understand that, right? I pay for products that I'm willing to gift to you. And if I give you samples, would you agree? The words, would you agree? Those are magical words. Would you agree to do several things? And I wait for their response. The first thing would be to watch a short 2 to 3 minute video from a physician who's explaining the product and how the ingredients work. And I'll give you that link to a Gift From Us website. Is that fair? I always ask for a confirmation. Is that fair? And if they say yes, the second thing I'm going to ask you to do is fill out the form on the website. And please tell me in that form what impressed you the most. Not what did you like. The words are what impressed you the most about what you watched, and which product or products would you like to experience. And, of course, I'm going to need your shipping address. And I need you to agree to call me or text me when your product package arrives so I can give you some tips that I found that work amazing. And would you agree to try the products within 24 to 48 hours after getting them? And we'll set up an appointment for a quick call so you can share with me your opinion on your experience. Is that fair? Again, getting a confirmation. The third part, and I say this because, let's face it, we're not Mr. or Mrs. Procter or Gamble. We pay for this stuff. So I'm hoping you're going to fall into one of 3 categories. May I share that with you? The first category is that you'd want to feel that great feeling that day and every day, and you're going to want to be set up as a wholesale customer. Or another option might be you're going to be set up as a wholesale customer, but you want to learn more about how you can get free products, and the only thing better than Zango products are free Zango products. Another option you might want to consider is to get the product at wholesale, learn how to get the product free, and also learn how to earn additional income every month and save somewhere between $300 to $500 in legal tax savings. Fair enough? Great. I'm really glad that you're open to shortcuts to better health because, believe it or not, how we age is a choice. I mean, this is so simple, but of course, you've got to practice it and do it in your own words because it must come from your heart. People must be able to feel your passion. And of course, you've got to be on the products. Otherwise, how can you possibly share things with someone else that you truly don't believe? So if you go to xuworldwide.com, xuworldwide.com, and in the library will be the suggested scripts. And I really believe to increase retention, if people understand the science behind the product, they will be more likely to stay on the automatic delivery program. Not just so they can get free gift vouchers. It's because they want to age healthier. And I was listening to an audio last week where aging really starts in your mid-20s. And how and what you do when you're young will affect what's going to happen to your body as you age. But if you're already past 40 or 50, it's never too late to fix and repair the damage. So go into the product education building and review all the science, all the research, all the videos. And if you'd like a 3-day pass to get into the university if you're not yet a scholar, just send me an email to faculty@XU Worldwide or to Sandi@sandyanded.com, and I'll give you a pass so you can explore the product education building as well as the prospecting tools building, absolutely free. Now, when I give out that beautiful 3D card from Zango that has a slot for Ignite, Limitless, and Reload, I include other things. I include this beautiful trifold brochure, because if people are open to having the best day yet and shortcuts to better health, as far as I'm concerned, our Zango juice, hands down, is probably the most important supplement they can take for being healthier longer. And I also include not just the brochure in the package, but I also include a Zango single, a 1-ounce single. So this is a shot of the brochure, and we even give you a custom label with a gift from us on it that you put your own URL on it. So it explains not just the Zango Pro line, but also Ageless and Zango Juice as well. And there's a sale going on right now that was supposed to end in June, but we're going to extend it. So if you go to xuworldwide.com shop or xustore.com, the special is still on. Now, when you're having a conversation with people, it's interesting. I do this a lot, especially when I'm at a meeting or I'm face-to-face with people, and Tony Robbins teaches a lot of this about body language, and not only your body language, but your potential customer or business partner. And this website is just wonderful for you to become educated on what not to do and what to do with your body language. And here is an example of why you want this. You want to understand their awareness. Do they have a need? Are they willing to commit? And are they willing to take action? And here is some samples when you're looking at people and you're having a conversation with them over coffee, or they come over to your house, or you're at lunch. What does their body language look like? Be aware of this, because if you're trying to convince them or sell them, or at least that's what they're perceiving, they are not going to be open to what you have to say. They're going to be suspicious. Watch their hands. Are they crossed in front of them? But also watch your body language. Are you having the posture of someone who's very, very successful? Now, here's some of the do's and don'ts. We've taught this before in the university. Your briefcase, your bag should be professional looking. It shouldn't be old and scuzzy. And one of the most important things is your shoes. I mean, this drives me crazy, especially women who wear shoes where the back of the heels are scuffed from driving in the car. Sometimes men, the heels are a little scuffed. The most important thing is polish your shoes. And if you can't get to a shoemaker, do it yourself. When you're sitting, how are you sitting across from someone? And they suggest, instead of being directly across, sit beside them. It's a very different feeling emotionally. Don't smile nervously or make funny faces. If you notice some people, and I'm not going to mention names, but sometimes even on stage, leaders touch their face, they touch their hair, they pull at their ears. It's very, very unprofessional. And when you meet them, men or women, what's your handshake like? Is it firm or is it like a wet noodle? In fact, our grandchildren were visiting with us for 3.5 weeks, and we were blessed to be able to take them to do some sightseeing in California, and we went to a meeting, and we practiced how to do a handshake with an adult. And the little 8-year-old said to somebody, oh, wait, let me do it again. I didn't do it firm enough. It was so cute about having that firm handshake. So when you're speaking with someone, what does the body language look like? You know, if they're yawning or their eyes are wandering or they have a tendency to look at their phone for text messages, you know that they have lost interest for sure. Now, here's 3 phrases because I'm always committed to constant and never-ending improvement. I've started to use these 3 phrases, and you can tweak it, but they are so powerful. The first phrase is, would it be okay if? Remember what I said. Would it be okay if? And then you can determine what that might be. Would it be okay if we arranged a call with one of my partners and mentors to be sure we get your questions answered? Because you want them to see it's a team sport, that they're not just relying on you, but they have a group of partners that are successful. That could be one, would it be okay if? Another one might be, would it be okay if I sent you a 2-minute video to watch with a physician explaining why our products are so unique? Another one might be, would it be okay if I sent you a 3-day class to explore our Zanga University and shortcut your personal and professional skills to get you where you want to be faster? So would it be okay? The next phrase, I just found out, and you've got to sound excited. I just found out in September, our company is having the largest launch of a product brand in 13 years worldwide. We're going to break our own records. Would it be okay to send you information to explain more about what's happening? I just found out our company has a huge goal, not to just create the next generation of million-dollar earners, but to create 1 million part-time thousandaires. Are you open to exploring possibilities? I use that one all the time. Are you open to exploring possibilities? And whatever it is you just found out, I just found out about these products that I tried that make me feel 10 years younger. I'm remembering things better. I'm working out better. I have more energy, more focus. The third phrase, I'm just curious. This one I love as well. I'm just curious. What if you knew you could not fail? Would you be open to exploring how I can help you reach your goals and explore possibilities? Now remember, if people have been in network marketing in other companies, most of them have not had a mentor. When I ask people, why do you think you failed? The most common answer is, it was like the blind leading the blind. I had nobody to teach me. Well, we know that's not true in Zango. Now, did you know that 57% of people will actually have less fear about chatting with people online or through social media? I mean, it's crazy, but it's true. And one of the many methods I use is social media, but it's only one of many, just like Janelle Crane talked about on her AMP call. I think it was last Saturday or the Saturday before. Somebody said to me, well, what do you do? Well, I do lots of things. I do whatever is possible to start a conversation. And on Sunday, the event after the event, we are going to have a special training on social media as well as Instagram, to help you build your skills on social media. But I've been doing social media, I can't believe it, but I think I'm not even sure whether it's 2 years or 3 years, that it's probably 2 years. April was 2 years. And I tweaked things, again, constant and never-ending improvement. And this script that I'm sharing with you has been working like magic, absolute magic. I think out of maybe 20 or 30 conversations this week alone, most people are asking for the information. So it's a 3-part message. And you can do this offline, face-to-face with people. And what I found is never, ever, ever ask more than one question at a time. And I don't know why, but people will only answer one if you ask 2 questions. Or they'll only answer one if you ask 3 questions. So I'm sharing with you what I actually type or chat online. And often, it's because somebody has liked one of my posts. And if you haven't been to my Facebook page, it's facebook.com/Sandi with an I .Cohen 2, the number 2. Some other Sandi Cohen got Sandi Cohen first, and she's got 2 friends. I've got close to 5,000. But anyway, so I say, thanks for liking one of my posts. We consider ourselves ageless advocates, educating people how to live longer, healthier. Would you agree that should be a priority? I stop there. I wait for their response. Would you agree that should be a priority? 100% of the time, I don't care what company they're in, they say absolutely, for sure, whatever. Then my next statement will be, seems the older I get, the more important staying healthy is. Agreed? Do you agree? How we age is a choice. If so, I'd be willing to send you samples of nutraceuticals that make me feel and perform like I'm 15 years younger. Would you look at a 2-minute video by a physician explaining the product and ingredients? Now, what I'm finding, even people that are in other companies who are not open to the business side of Zango are saying to me, well, I'm very committed to where I am, but I would be willing to watch the video. So that's the first thing you want. You want the commitment that they're going to watch the video. And then my third response is, my pleasure. Just visit agiftfromus.com / I'm telling you demo, but I have sandyanded.com. And then I also say, let me know what impressed you the most, not what you think. The wording is, and just these little changes in wording are going to make a big difference in your results. Let me know what impressed you the most and request a sample. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. This has been working like magic. I was so excited to share this with everyone today. And of course, your mindset. We do a lot of training with Brian Tracy, and I absolutely adore him as one of the many masters. I mean, they're all great, and they're all in the university. But what Brian teaches is that we all are born with a $1 million mindset. We all have it within us. So what happens as we get older? It's buried in our subconscious mind, which controls probably about 90% of what we do. So our goal in the university is to unlock your millionaire mind and give you the skills that you need so you can walk and talk like a professional. And I'm going to look in the chat box now. John and Gina are asking where we can find the scripts. They're going to be posted. They're going to be posted in the library. In zangouniversity.com. Let me look and see if there are other questions. Do you ask questions in the comments, or do you send them a direct message in social media? Okay. I send them a private message in social media. Now, what's interesting is I do birthday alarms, and you should be doing that as well on social media.
and I have some really cute posts that I do on their page that's also offering them free samples. So if you want to see that as well, just send me an email and I'll show you what I post. But on their timeline, I do wish them a happy birthday and offer them a gift to have the best day yet. And I give them my link to a giftfromus.com/Sandi and Ed. So not only are they seeing it, but their friends are seeing it as well. But when I'm having a conversation with them, like here what I just said, I'm doing it privately in their message box or chat box, whatever you call it. So hopefully, Susanna, I've answered your question. And we're going to be training on some of this at the event after the event at Rush on Sunday at Convention. Thank you, Susanna. Okay, I'm glad that helped. Another question in the chat box? No, I don't think we do. I don't see it anyway. Let me delete that one and see if there's any other questions that we have. Looking forward to seeing you come in. We're having an enormous amount of people coming in internationally. We're so excited about this conference only because those who will be there will probably push their business 6 to 8 months ahead by attending. So if you're on this call or you're listening, we know you are serious about your business. So do whatever you need to do to get to Rush and stay for the Sunday event. And a lot of the leaders, including Eddie and I, still have a few of the discounted block tickets we bought. I guess we bought them last year, only at $49. So if you have been in Zango longer than 60 days, if you're brand new, you've got 60 days to buy a Rush ticket at $20. But if you've been in Zango longer than that, the tickets are $129. And I understand from Dave Webb on the Get Amp call this morning, there are just a few rooms left at the MGM. So make sure you call customer service. You can't go through the hotel to get this special pricing. You must call customer service and lock in those rooms. And I am warning you that the Mayweather fight is happening that weekend at the MGM. So if you try to book a hotel room without going through Zango, you are going to spend a fortune. But it's Vegas, guys. You don't have to stay at the MGM. You can stay anywhere you want as long as you are in the seats at Rush, ready to maybe win that silver Mercedes, but also get all the training that you need. And Eli, I see, yep, you've got your tickets already and you're coming in international. Willie is asking, how soon will this recording be posted? Normally, if it's during the week, it's about 24 hours, but it probably won't be posted until Monday. So it will be posted in the back office in the library at zangouniversity.com. XU University, XUworldwide.com. But if you go to Zango University, it'll redirect you to XU Worldwide as well. Okay. Willie, the Mayweather fight has bumped up the prices. Oh, yeah. Through the roof. And when Mayweather was here for the other fight, I mean, as crazy as Vegas is on a weekend, it was insane. And it'll be so much fun. And some of you are going to be attending the MB30 events, which is crazy. And some of us are going to the Michael Jackson show and the Rock of Ages, all with Zango footing the bill. So thank you for being here. We love you all, and make sure that you come and give us a hug at convention. And with that, have a great weekend. And remember your little square. What is your MDC every single day? Commit to that journey. And we'll say bye for now.